phone rang at exactly 2:17 a.m. Not 2:16, not 2:18, 2:17. Elias Vane was still awake when it happened. He usually was. Sleep came rarely in Greyford, especially when it rained. And tonight, rain covered the city like a second sky. Water slid slowly across the apartment windows while distant traffic hissed through the streets below. Inside the room, only one lamp was on. A warm amber light above a desk crowded with open files, cold coffee, and unfinished notes. The radio near the window whispered soft static into the darkness. Elias sat silently in his chair, staring at the rain beyond the glass. That was when the phone rang. Once, sharp against the silence. He looked at it for a moment before answering. Nobody called this late unless something was wrong, or someone wanted something hidden. Elias Vane. For a second, there was only breathing, quiet, uneven. Then a woman spoke. "I think someone is inside my apartment." Her voice was calm, too calm, not panicked, not hysterical, just tired, like fear had already exhausted her hours ago. Elias leaned back slowly in his chair. Outside, thunder rolled somewhere far beyond the harbor. "Did you call the police?" "Yes." A pause. "They never came." Elias looked toward the rain-covered city again. Greyford had entire districts the police preferred to forget after midnight. "What's your address?" he asked. The woman gave him one quietly. Blackwater Avenue, Old District, near the train lines. Elias knew the area immediately. Most people avoided it after dark. Too many empty buildings. Too many windows glowing where nobody lived anymore. "There's someone in the hallway," she whispered suddenly. Elias stood up immediately. "Lock the door." "I already did." The line went silent again. But this time, the silence felt wrong. No television, no movement, no city noise, nothing, not even rain. It was so quiet that Elias could hear the faint buzz of the phone line itself. Then very softly, the woman whispered, "I don't think he's alone." The call ended. For a few seconds, Elias remained still. Then he grabbed his coat from the chair beside the desk. Rain hit the streets hard the moment he stepped outside. Greyford looked half asleep beneath the storm. Neon signs reflected through puddles like broken colors across the pavement. A distant train horn echoed somewhere through the city fog. Elias walked quickly, hands in his pockets. Collar raised against the rain. Blackwater Avenue sat near the forgotten side of Greyford. Old apartment buildings, dead cafes, closed grocery stores with rusted shutters. The kind of streets where people stopped looking at each other years ago. By the time Elias reached the building, the rain had slowed slightly. The apartment stood between two abandoned storefronts. 6 floors, most windows dark. Only one dim hallway light flickered above the entrance. Inside, the building smelled old. Dust, wet wood, cold air. The elevator no longer worked. Elias climbed the stairs alone. Every step echoed through the empty hallway. 4th floor, apartment 407. The door stood slightly open. Elias stopped, listening. Nothing. Slowly he pushed the door wider. The apartment beyond was completely dark. "Hello?" No answer. He stepped inside carefully. The wooden floor creaked softly beneath his shoes. Rain tapped gently against distant windows somewhere deeper in the apartment. The place looked untouched. No lights, no food, no personal belongings, only dust everywhere. Elias frowned. Something wasn't right. Then he noticed the calendar hanging beside the kitchen doorway. The pages were old, very old, still open to October, 3 years earlier. A cold feeling moved slowly through his chest. He walked further inside. The bedroom was empty, the bathroom untouched. No sign anyone had lived there recently, not for months, maybe longer. Then suddenly, the apartment phone rang. The sound exploded through the darkness, sharp, violent, almost unnatural in the silence. Elias stared at it for a second before answering. Slowly. "Hello?" Static answered first, soft crackling. Then the woman's voice returned. "You came." Elias looked around the empty apartment. "Who are you?" For a moment, she said nothing. Then quietly, "I used to live there." The lights in the hallway outside flickered once, twice, then steadied again. Elias felt the room grow colder. "Where are you now?" he asked. A long silence followed, so long he thought the line had died. Then finally, almost like a whisper beside his ear, "You're standing where they found me." The call ended instantly. The apartment fell silent again, only rain against the windows, nothing else. Elias slowly lowered the phone. For the first time that night, he looked genuinely unsettled. Then he noticed something near the window, a chair, positioned carefully toward the city outside, as if someone had spent hours sitting there alone in the dark, watching Greyford beneath the rain, waiting for something or someone. Elias stepped closer, slowly, and there, written faintly into the dust covering the windowsill, were 4 words: "He never left Greyford." Thunder shook the city outside. The hallway lights flickered again. And somewhere deep below the building, another phone began ringing.